You ever have one of those mornings where you're just mowing your lawn, minding your own business, and the next thing you know, you're starring in your own true crime documentary? Yeah, me neither. Until that Saturday. Because let me tell you, on a quiet Texas morning, I went from sweaty lawn guy to last man standing in a war over my own damn house. And it started with a convoy of SUVs, a real-life Karen in a linen blazer, and me squinting through sun in disbelief thinking, you have got to be kidding me. I'm not making this up. Picture this. I'm halfway through the front yard, old push mower rattling like it might shake itself apart, shirt plastered to my back, earbuds blasting Credence, just losing myself in the rhythm of sweat and summer. Out of nowhere, I see motion past the mailbox, slick black SUV, white minivan with Willow Realty Group in gold vinyl that looks like it was designed in word art. And then two more SUVs rolling up behind like they were tailgating a parade float. Earbud out, I stare. The minivan door slides open and out steps, yeah, you guessed it, Karen. The Karen, HOA president, suburban overlord, and my personal tormentor for the past 3 years. The kind of lady who brings bylaws to barbecues and once threatened to fine me for unseemly Halloween decor. She'd spent years pretending my house, which sits on its own weird sliver of land between two HOA zones, was somehow her jurisdiction. Never mind that I'd told her on paper, notarized and signed by the great state of Texas, she had as much say here as a squirrel on the power line. But here she was striding up my gravel drive, clutching a file like she was about to host the Oscars. And behind her, a realtor squeezed into a too-small blazer, a man and woman dressed like cash buyers from Dallas, and an entire parade of people with clipboards, iced coffees, and all the patience of a DMV line. A full-on open house, on my yard. She stops, scans me up and down like I'm the intruder, says, "Oh, you're still here, I'll put out." Glancing at her watch, "You had until last night at 1 a.m. to vacate. We discussed this." Now I'm standing there, mower rumbling, sun in my eyes, and I swear I almost laugh. The hell we did. But she's got her script. You were served. This property's been designated for transition under HOA Article 17C. It's now a communal development lot, and this is a scheduled viewing. Please don't interfere. Lady, I'm thinking if you get one more foot on my grass, I'm calling the sheriff. Didn't faze her. The realtor steps up all teeth and fake cheer, thanking me for cooperating in the transition phase like I'm handing him keys to a rental, not fighting off an invasion. "We've already got offers," he chirps. I blink at him. "You're thanking me for cooperating with the attempted sale of my not-for-sale house." And here's the real kicker. Karen jumps back in, flapping a sheet of paper. "Your property was forfeited due to non-renewal of parcel usage declaration. Defaulted into HOA jurisdiction after 18 months. It's on record." "The hell you do," I shoot back, storming over. "I paid property taxes 3 days ago. I live here. I bought this land outright at a state auction 6 years ago." The buyers shuffle awkwardly. Karen waves another paper declaration of forfeiture like it's some sacred text. The realtor tries to pitch me on their Vision Meditation Pavilion walking trail community growth. I pull out my phone and call the sheriff. Karen, now addressing her audience like a preacher at a tent revival, declares, "I had a 20-hour courtesy window to leave, and my lack of response is on me." By this point, folks are measuring my deck and tiptoeing through my yard like they're on house hunters. I lock the gate finally and tell them nobody's moving further, unless they want to explain to the sheriff why they're selling someone else's house. For the first time, Karen looks rattled. "This is highly inappropriate." "No," I say, "what's inappropriate is you showing up to a man's house with a for sale sign and a lie." The realtor tries to smooth it over, but I cut him off. "You're standing on land I paid for in cash, never under HOA control. Either you leave now or the cops make you." Karen gets close, real close. "You can't stop progress, Mr. Bowen. This community has spoken." "Yeah, well, I'm not part of your community. I'm the guy with the deed. She's got nothing." Everyone backs away slow, realizing maybe this wasn't the field trip they signed up for. 10 minutes later, the sheriff rolls up. By now, my yard's hot enough to fry an egg, and Karen and the realtor are posted up like they're waiting for a bus. The buyers hover by their cars, not wanting to miss the fireworks. The deputy Lom, a solid guy I'd met before, walks up and asks what's going on. I explain, gesturing at Karen and her entourage, that I'm apparently hosting an unauthorized open house. Karen jumps in, flashing her badge as HOA president, insisting I was given proper notice of forfeiture. Deputy Lamb asks, By what authority Karen, proud as a peacock, produces a thick folder? By the authority vested in me by the HOA charter. All paperwork signed, verified, and stamped by our compliance office. I can't help but snort. Her compliance office is her garage printer. Deputy looks through her documents, face getting tighter with every page. Ma'am, this is a private HOA document, not a county record. No signatures from the assessor or property registrar. Karen insists the county ratifies their records. Uh-huh, says Lam. And when did the county ratify this? She stalls. That process is ongoing. Translation never. Deputy closes the folder, hands it back. Ma'am, this isn't a legal deed. You can't just decide a property belongs to you because your committee voted on it. Got anything from the county clerk's office? Karen's jaw sets. The owner's been non-compliant. The law allows us to assume management of abandoned lots. I step forward, holding receipts. Here's my property tax deed registration renewal. Check the county database, my name's on every line. Deputy checks. Yep. Paid, registered, and occupied. That's about as far from abandonment as it gets. Ma'am, you and these folks are trespassing. Leave immediately. The realtor, suddenly looking green, tries to hand over a pre-sale contract. We were told this was a legitimate listing. Deputy stares him down. You've got a sale contract for a house that isn't yours to sell. The man stammers. She said it was approved through the HOA program. Karen hisses at me. This isn't over. Our attorney will be contacting you. You'll regret this. I grin. Tell your lawyer to bring crayons. Maybe he can draw me a map of where you think you own my house. The convoy peels out buyer's realtor and finally Karen, who spits. This is harassment. You think you can humiliate me? You'll regret this. I get real close. Lady, I've dealt with worse than you. You try another stunt, your only regret will be not knowing which prison has air conditioning. She covers a flinch with a smirk. Enjoy your little victory, Mr. Bowen. It won't last. Sheriff Lam files his report, tells me to keep my paperwork handy. If she tries again, call me. He knows this isn't over. Neither do I. That night I barely sleep, not worried but pissed. Karen doesn't retreat. She regroups. At 6 a.m. sharp, I'm parked at the Travis County Property Office, thermos in hand, waiting for them to open. The clerk, Elliot, soft-spoken glasses, probably knows every deed in the county, pulls my file. Deed, tax history, registration, all clean. But tucked in a filing from 2 weeks ago, notice of non-usage and abandonment declaration submitted by High Creek Bluff HOA. Not official, just sitting there. County flagged it as unauthorized. Elliot shrugs. We see a few of these. Overreaching HOAs. They try, but county never ratifies. Zoning officer Lynn Sharp as a tack shows me on her tablet my lot legacy parcel. Never annexed. HOAs tried twice to claim it. Both times denied. But on one rejected request, they'd actually listed my parcel as target for eventual acquisition. Black and white. That's when the chill sets in. They're literally trying to steal my house with paperwork. By noon, I'm on the phone to my lawyer, Sandra Travers, former assistant DA, property rights junkyard dog. I want to sue them, I growl. Calm down. Send me everything. An hour later, she calls back. They've done this before. 2 others nearby. One sold under duress. One still fighting. She's got contacts in the clerk's office. Give me 2 days. That night, I double-check my own files. Permits, receipts, everything. I install motion sensors, cameras, lock the panel to the power meter. Next morning, Sandra texts, call me. We have a pattern. Turns out that notice of non-usage was a template. Same fake signatures, same fake executive committee. None of those people exist. Board meetings. Never happened. Some held on public holidays when the office was closed. And Willow Realty, the same agent from my lawn. They brokered both earlier forfeited sales. It's a racket, fake abandonment, fake votes, then quick flip the house. Sandra's got a planned public records request for all HOA filings and meeting minutes filed straight to the county. The returns are gold signatures from board members who don't exist, matching font and layout across months of minutes, and the metadata. All created the same day 3 weeks ago. Sloppy, desperate. Even crazier, a silent auction notice sent to Willow Realty listing my property as secured pending HOA approval, signed by Karen. By now, I've filed a fraud complaint with Deputy Lamb, looped in the local housing reporter Jana Hull, who shows up that weekend with a camera crew. You've made enemies, she says, but this story, it's got teeth. She runs the segment HOA, or Land Thieves, And the internet lights up hundreds of comments, neighbors sharing horror stories. Turns out Karen tried this before. Most people were too broke or scared to fight. Within days, more neighbors reach out. Ms. Delgado backyard shed bulldozed by HOA. Carl denied driveway rights. Sandra files for an emergency injunction granted on the spot. The sheriff delivers it to Karen's door. She slams it so hard it rattles the porch. The next day, a guy shows up measuring my fence, claims he's updating boundaries for the HOA. I hand him the court order. He turns white and bails. Sandra's moving quick pattern of fraud, fake meetings, ghost signatures. Then out of nowhere, a twist, an ex-HOA accountant named Dana emails Sandra, says she's got proof-altered budgets, fake project logs, and a property absorption schedule listing my lot as Phase 1. We're not just talking a few overreaches, this is a coordinated land grab. Sandra contacts the DA. Suddenly things go nuclear. Within 24 hours, the DA's office sends over a subpoena. 2 investigators sit on my porch for hours. Camera footage, forged maps, metadata, it all lines up. And then another bomb, they've been tracking a second HOA next county over same MO, same realtor. Judge issues a restraining order freezing every pending real estate transfer by High Creek Bluff Estates, including mine. Emergency hearing in a week. See, Karen's cornered. Her security team shows up, tries to post an emergency code violation on my gate. I hand him the court order and record the whole thing. He slinks off muttering threats. 2 days later, Sandra gets a call. Dana's documents go back years. Dead homeowners' names on fake votes, meeting minutes conjured from thin air funds, siphoned to a private account. It's not just civil fraud anymore, it's criminal conspiracy. And then a real wild card, a buyer's lawyer calls, says his client's pressing charges too. Karen disappears. Drains the HOA funds, skips town. For a few days, it's chaos. Board members, quitting realtors, hounded by the press. Karen's face on every news channel. U.S. Marshals nab her outside Shreveport trying to cross into Louisiana under her sister's ID. 8 felonies, no bail. The court hearing's a circus. Karen in cuffs, her cronies scattering, the judge reading the charges. By the end, my land is declared never part of the HOA, all actions voided, Karen's assets frozen, and buyers filing their own suits. I walk out finally breathing. Justice one forged document at a time. The fallout, glorious. Statewide realty license yanked $700,000 in damages, found Karen's beautification contracts exposed as fronts. She gets 15 years, no parole. I get to watch the city crew tear down every last illegal sign, every gaudy open house banner. That moment, arms crossed, watching boards tossed onto a flatbed, is the sweetest I've ever had. So here's the thing. For months, I thought this was about my yard. Turns out it was about standing your ground when no one else will. About how community can become a weapon. How a little unchecked power paper signatures and a rubber stamp can nearly bulldoze a lifetime's work. But also about how a single no can start an avalanche. I got my land. But I got something else too, a long look at what people are willing to do for a slice of someone else's life. I can't tell you it's made me trust more. Hell, maybe the opposite. But I'll tell you this, I don't mow my lawn angry anymore. I do it with a grin under cameras behind a 12-foot fence that says, "Not your HOA's backyard." And folks still slow down, some nod, some gawk, I don't care. Here's my question for you, when is it enough? When does community cross the line into control? If someone tried to take your home with a piece of paper, would you fight or fold? Tell me what you'd do. Or maybe you've lived it, let's hear your story. Because sometimes the only thing standing between you and a stolen life is just being stubborn enough to say hell no. Now go on, tell me where you draw the line.
Cảm ơn các bạn đã xem video.